Hello and welcome back. Coinbase is a company that I wanted to talk about. I mean, pretty much all of us have used it at least once. It's cryptocurrency exchange, very well known. And it is a recent IPO as well. As you see, it IPO'd around this level. Then it kind of went down, then up again, reached 300 and about 370 over here, and then down to 177. And I definitely wanted to make a video and discuss about this company because there is a lot of things that we need to talk about when we're examining Coinbase. First of all, let me thank you for watching this video. This is a channel that is dedicated to value investing, and so you won't be seeing me pumping up stocks here. I just want to look into financials objectively and take decisions on whether I would potentially buy this stock or sell it, or just wait it out a little bit, see how it goes. And I want to give you the information that you need to make solid investment decisions and not just base your decisions on hype. Hype can be used for trading, but for value investing, it's not the best thing. Now, if you have watched this channel, if you have watched some of my videos, you may have noticed that while I do have some crypto, I know and I fully realize that cryptocurrency currently is sort of like a commodity, and if actually less than that is, I would say, more like a lottery ticket, because it's mostly about hype. It's mostly about people wanting to actually buy a specific coin. So it's not backed up by employees. It's not backed up by factories. It doesn't produce anything currently, at least. So it's I would say a black box right now. And so while it may have uses in the future, it's unknown whether it will actually become a very important thing for an economy, or whether it will become actual currency at some point. And so, and the same is with NFTs. I mean, this is another craze that can potentially yield some money for exchanges and people who trade them. But do they actually have any real use in the economy? I don't think so, but it remains to be shown, I suppose. So let's examine Coinbase here, because Coinbase is still a company. I mean, even though they are trading crypto, in this case, we are not really looking into crypto trading in terms of the actual coins. We're looking at the industry of a broker, actually, an exchange, and whether we can make money off of other people who want to be trading these investment vehicles, these crypto and NFTs. So, Coinbase being down a year to date, this year 30%, and last month 32%, and 3 months 44%. So it's been down massively. And again, you can expect that for new IPOs. And the big problem with this kind of companies like Coinbase is just because it's based on an industry. This industry is very cyclical in nature right now. So it goes up and down all the time. And it's very hard to predict what's going to happen. So generally speaking, I would say to anyone who actually wants to be buying Coinbase, wait for a downturn. Like this currently is a downturn, obviously, but I wouldn't buy when the crypto markets are actually reaping. I would wait it out and wait for the stock market to go down and then purchase Coinbase, if I were to purchase Coinbase. Because again, they are really affected by how the crypto market is moving. And another interesting thing that I wanted to point out is, and I will point to an actual article here. Let me actually switch to that. So you will see here that this article by Motley Fool mentions that if you want to invest in NFTs, consider this stock. And which stock is it talking about? Coinbase, the one we're talking about in this video, because they plan to launch Coinbase NFT basically, which is a marketplace to mint, purchase, showcase, and discover the digital collectibles. Very interesting, and potentially very lucrative for a company like Coinbase. So this is a reason why I would consider investing a little bit of money in Coinbase, because there is a lot of potential benefit from having a company of that sort, which is more than likely going to be trading a lot of these NFTs, and will have a lot of traders trading them, and so making money out of commissions and everything. So it's a very interesting potential here that I wanted to let you know about, because you may not have seen it anywhere. Let's go back to the financials of the company now. So first things first here with the company, the outstanding shares of the company are growing higher. You would expect that from an IPO, especially when it grows in value, just because the stock board, the company board can decide to issue some more shares in order to finance operations, finance the company. And so that's typically what these kinds of companies do. When their value is actually very, very high and their recent IPOs, they tend to sell more stock to investors who want to get more out of the company. So you could expect to maybe to get even a higher outstanding shares count here and a higher float, which is typically not great for investors, but it's something that you need to know about before deciding to invest. And a projected a projected PE that's supposed to be higher, which is also not great. Yet, I mean, I'm not sure if it factors all the potential from like the crypto-based NFT exchange and what could go on there in terms of the financials of the company. We'll see. But because these are all projections and these are by analysts and they're not very, very right all the time. So I'd say quite the opposite for the most part. So the revenues of the company growing, which is a great thing to see. And the company is sitting at 38 billion, which is a massive valuation, obviously, but we're going to check on their cash flow, see whether that makes sense. Now, we don't have a lot of data for Coinbase because, again, it's a new IPO. And let's take a look at the net income here. The net income of the company started in the minus, actually, and grew to 3 billion. This is very, very promising. Now, again, this is a cyclical market. Markets used to be doing really, really well in 2021. And then they slumped at the end of that year, but still, I mean, they made a lot of money during the uprise of a lot of different coins. So make sure that you understand that if a year goes wrong, then the whole operations of Coinbase could lose money, even lose money or not make as much. So the assets of the company growing as well. I'm assuming the liabilities growing a lot too over here, massively even. But the total equity here is approaching 5 billion right now, which is not negligible at all. That's pretty nice to see. What about the cash flow, which is eventually the very, very interesting thing? Wow, this went from 3 billion here to 10 billion here in the last 12 months. Very, very interesting. And a little bit of investing from the company in securities and some investing activities, acquisitions here, normal stuff. What about cash from financing? They actually did buy a little bit of stock, which is interesting to see, and issued a lot of debt here for 4 billion almost, 3.3. I guess that's fair if they are making the amount of cash flow that you would expect them to make. But yeah, and that's accurate, because if they are making $10 billion, like getting debt of 3.4 would put them at like a 30% debt to equity ratio or something of that sort. Debt to cash flow, actually, that would be. But we will examine the debt to equity ratio later. So the cash flow right now is impressive, actually, very, very impressive. Because if it's $3 billion here and almost 10 here, the average is about 6 between those two. And if you give it a multiple of 10 even, you're reaching a $60 billion market cap, and right now it's sitting at 38. So that's very, very promising. It actually looks like a company that's potentially undervalued. Now, again, we don't have many years to use projections for, so that's very, very important. We cannot use this historical data to project how things are going to go into the future, but I'm assuming, and I think that crypto is not going anywhere anytime soon. So you may actually want to reap the benefits of potentially holding a company like Coinbase, really. So the solvency that I want to take a look at, yeah, that makes sense. It's about 73%, the total debt to equity. The equity was, I believe it was like almost like 5.5 billion that we examined earlier. And we just saw that they took $4 billion in debt almost. So it's about 73%, yes. And that's fine, especially when the company is making that much money, because that's the important thing. I mean, when you are looking at the debt that the company has, what you need to be looking at really is the total liabilities of the company. So you can find the total liabilities here, which is like $13 billion. And then take a look at the cash flow, see how much the company makes. So if a company that has $30 billion of liabilities makes $10 billion a year, they can repay their debt in less than 2 years. And that's fairly awesome. So you're looking to find companies that can repay their debt as soon as possible, obviously. If they wanted to, that doesn't mean that they will do. But if they wanted to, if they are able to pay it back in like 4 or 5 years, or maybe even a little bit less, that's awesome. And the more cash they have, obviously, the better it is. But you need to adjust your projections to the debt and see how much debt they have as well. That's important. And in this case, things are looking pretty awesome here. So that's great to see for Coinbase. Hope that continues like this. And what would I do with Coinbase right now? I like what I'm saying. I'm not gonna lie, and I do like investing in a potential company of that sort as well. Again, because I believe that the cryptocurrency market and the NFT market will boom in the next few years to come. Doesn't mean that I love the space, and doesn't mean that I would be buying every NFT out there. Maybe a little bit though, because this is mostly for trading purposes, but not really value investing. But for trading, it can be gold really. So why not? But yes, I would buy Coinbase, and I'm actually thinking about it just because there is this potential growth, a lot of growth. They're making a lot of free cash flow already. So, I mean, there's not many things to dislike here. And apart from the fact that we don't have enough data, I'd say. But other than that, I'm a buyer of Coinbase, and I will potentially look into adding a little bit for my portfolio as well. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please take a look at our Discord channel. You can find the link in the description below. I'd like to see you there. And in the meantime, you may want to take a look at this video that I made earlier. It's about Alibaba, and you can find some information about the company if you're interested in adding it to your portfolio. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.